Hi Virgos, and welcome to your December 2020 general tarot forecast. This is Sky here to talk to you about the energies coming up for your month of December. Let's see, interesting energies coming in, similar to what I've been seeing for a lot of the signs this month. The Star and Ten of Swords have been rampant this month, as well as Eight of Cups and the Chariot. They've been coming up also. What am I feeling for Virgo's energy? I do feel like you're overcoming the Tinder spot that this year had to kind of introduce for you. I've always felt that this year was great for Virgo, but I noticed with some Virgos in my life and some Virgos that I've spoken to that in November, a bit of a crisis was around. It was like sudden, sort of acute sense of what do I do? Who are these people around me? What am I doing in this place? So you've done really well this year, Virgo, at sort of coasting and just kind of pushing through and letting things continue on and not, getting too controlling or hyper focused on changing things while also growing. Though it feels like in the month of December, you have to now, as we prepare for this Jupiter-Saturn conjunct in Aquarius, it feels like Virgo has to change up their philosophy on a few things. And it feels like a few endings have to take place so that you have enough energy to move forward in the way that you want. Ten of Swords and Eight of Cups coming in. That is like the energy of a breakup or a ending or something changing. So what do you want to walk away from? Do you feel that there's a sense of betrayal? Do you feel that there is a commitment that feels broken? Anything that feels unsteady or eroded or difficult has to be resurfaced now or reformed in some way. So if you are feeling, because I feel like your endurance is really tested right at the beginning of December and at the end of November, like right as I'm stepping into your energy, Virgo, something feels a little bit heavy and I feel a little bit winded and I feel a little bit like, what's going on? Like I am drained, I'm sapped. So that's going to be totally resolved by the fourth week where Queen of Wands and the stars are, and I step into that energy and all of a sudden I'm like much lighter, I'm much more compelled, I'm much more confident in what I'm doing. But how do we get from point A to point B? How do we get there? There's something about a commitment. There's something about maybe a change in residence or what is propelling you, what's pushing you. The Chariot coming up as one of your major arcana cards says to me that you've got two conflicting drives pulling you. So there's a lot of swerving that happens, and now it's time to consolidate those drives. Also, your confidence should grow and you should start to feel like you enjoy yourself and your body more throughout this month too. And that seems to also connect to what you need to commit to. The Star and Six of Wands are like antithetical in a way because the Star is a depiction of nudity. So it's like not about clothing. It's not about how we dress up or how we project. It's about who we are and what lies beneath. Whereas Six of Wands that you have in the beginning is about how I project, who I am on the outside, the garments and clothing and materials and colors that I wear and what that means. So you're going from that to a much more simplistic, authentic, vulnerable sense of self at the end of December. Really keep an eye on relationships this month. I'm feeling that most of it comes back to relationships actually for Virgo. Family relationships, romantic relationships, friendships, acquaintanceships. These things are really going to show your current status and how you're doing. Because it feels a little bit polarizing to me. It feels like you are being pulled in maybe a few different ways. Like maybe you're with somebody who's struggling with bipolarity, or you're with somebody who's struggling with very strong polarizing emotions. Like one day they're really hot, one day they're really cold, and it's hard to handle. I'm feeling that there's a bipolar or just polarized presence in your life right now, Virgo. And what does that mean? It means that it's maybe you were like that at one point in time, or you struggled with that, and now it's getting more and more outside of you, and here's where you decide whether you keep it or whether you move in a different direction. All right. So let's talk about your week to week in December. So in the first week of December, Virgo, you have the Six of Wands rooted down by the Ten of Swords. So yes, it's true. The character in Six of Wands is the same one as the character in Ten of Swords. As you can tell, they're wearing the same garments. I've never realized that until now, really. So when you're rising high and you're getting confident and you're getting into your ego, because Six of Wands is an ego card, and again, ego is not always bad. It can express it in a positive or negative way. But when you're so visible, when you're so embodied, as I feel Virgo to be very embodied and very recognizable, maybe standing out in the crowd, standing out among others, people start to resent that at times. And I think that what's important is that your identity in the first week of December starts to grow and it starts to evolve into an area where it's not really resentable. It's almost like you can get the identity that is not resented anymore, or you can grow into a self-expression that is not, really resented by anybody. So what is sought after and what is strength becomes new for you in the first week. And also you are rethinking what you want to project as. So what is your reputation? What is it that you're known for? What is it that you're doing? Is maybe overcoming betrayal or overcoming ending something that is now a part of your identity? Someone who can overcome, someone who can push through, that feels really positive. Just try to not get too stumped with things. Try to not get too confused or worried about matters of identity or projection either. That's important. I feel like you might be thinking a lot into the appearance or into the projection, and it's almost needed to get further grounded and further inside of yourself than pushing out so much. Week number 2, you have the Chariot rooted down by King of Pentacles. So what pulls you in what direction comes up, how you're getting from point A to point B, transportation, like how you're transporting yourself. So new car, new way of transportation is possible with King of Pentacles. It's like an expenditure on transportation or something really nice. It could be around that. Like I'm feeling like you can maybe upsize in certain ways. Even your like home or your surroundings or furnishings, something like that could be up for a change. And also in the second week, it's like you get something into motion though. So an idea gets into motion, or you have enough now to get something into motion, enough to fund a business, enough to change a career, enough energy to, just really put your money where your mouth is. It feels like that's what I heard come in. Or maybe you kind of need someone else to do that. Like, are you, around the type of people who can do that? Are you around the type of people who are duplicitous or two-faced, or people who, I'm feeling two-facedness, duplicity. That's really important to look at in the second week of December. Into the people around you, even yourself. What face are you showing versus who you are? Is there a duplicitousness abounding around you? And what does that have to do with like status, with King of Pentacles, or with standing, or with reputation? That is going to come up in the second week. Week number 3, you have 8 of Cups rooted down by 10 of Cups. So that is the week that we have the Jupiter-Saturn conjunct in Aquarius at 0 degrees, making a quincunx angle to whatever you have in Virgo. And that is going to be very fascinating for you. It feels, again, to focus relationships and to focus whatever you're committing to. 10 of Cups and 8 of Cups have both been coming up a lot this month. It's hard to actually get away from them. So we're all going to be tested, I think, on our unions, on what we're choosing to keep and what we're choosing not to keep, and what we want to transmute, what we want to take with us into this new wave transit. So if you can, take some time to think about your commitments and think about, your projects. What projects are you marrying? What ones do you want to finish up or tie up? And then, is there something that just can't give to you anymore? Is there something that you've been putting a lot of energy into that has potential, but it's just not giving back? Maybe it's time to start investing energy elsewhere. Maybe it's time to pull back a little bit and decide where you want to go next. But the third week overall, Virgo, is just about also like family happiness and about the family unit, about your children, if you have children. Something with them may be coming up, and mainly revolving around the cohesion of the family unit. That will kind of come up for everybody because Capricorn is a very family-centric sign. It's about ancestry. It's about the family unit. We go into Capricorn season right there, and Jupiter and Saturn transfer into Aquarius. So we're all going to maybe think a bit differently about our families, or about what even our inherited family or our friend family, things like that definitely come up. Do you have friends or acquaintances or even spouses or relationships that you're like a parent to, being a mother or father figure to someone who you're not a mother or father to? Look into that, Virgo. It seems like you have kind of like a divine mother or divine father type of complex going on, where maybe everybody around you is needing to be parented by you, or everybody around you loses a bit of independence as they become closer to you, and it's like not what you're signing up for, but it just happens. That's the strongest ping that I'm getting throughout this reading is about your connection to a parental archetype in and of yourself. So look at that and see if that's, worth that anymore. Fourth week, you have and the thing. So for those of you who have kids, and the way that this would translate is, it would be like the only people that aren't being parented are your like kids, but like everybody else is being like parented. So keep an eye on that. That could be a problem area, and really good to identify then and there if that resonates. Okay. Of course, that's going to be different for everybody. Not even everybody who's watching this video are parents or are really relating that much to people right now. But you can look at it from every angle, like your relationship to yourself as a parent. Like, how are you parenting yourself? How are you enforcing rules into your own life when it comes to spending or eating or cleaning or anything like that? All of that really needs to be looked at there. Week number 4, Queen of Wands rooted down by the star. So popularity, okay? Virgo is a very popular sign this year. And you're going to keep taking that with you, it looks like, into the new year. But it's got to become more about you and less about what you're wearing. As I said, you go from 6 of Wands, which is about the exterior clothing and how I look and how I'm coming off. And then you end on the star, which is about you and about only the parts of you that have nothing to do with like what you wear, how you're dressed up, how you're seen, how you're edited, or how you're filtered. None of that stuff. So a more authentic, more unfiltered Virgo seems to be really important, starting in the 4th week of December. And making that enjoyable, having fun with that. Queen of Wands is about optimism, popularity, enjoyment, motivation, desire, excitement, creativity. So pulling that all into this kind of like new identity. I think you're going to overcome an identity crisis this month, and I think you're going to come out on the other side with a much more wholesome idea of who you are, Virgo. So congratulations. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick general reading for the month of December. I am going to put together an extended over on Patreon, which you can click in the center of the screen now to jump over and check out, or in the description box below. Thank you so much, Virgo. I hope you have a wonderful December. Much love. Bye.